Welcome to the Awakened Goddess Show, your source for inspiration, wisdom, and personal discovery. The place to learn from a diverse mix of mentors, metaphysical experts, spiritual leaders, and best-selling authors from around the world. I'm your host, Angela Wilkinson. Join me as I explore the minds of my masterful guests while they share powerful insights and easy-to-use tools you can start using right away. Now, let's tap into the energy of the Awakened Goddess and be enlightened by today's guest. Reverend Kari Chapman's journey as a conscious walk-in has led her to a new and exciting phase in her life. When called upon, she intervenes on behalf of the soul for soul intervention to help people who are feeling hopeless. As an ordained minister with Universal Brotherhood, Reverend Kari is also a conscious, multidimensional psychic, exorcist, medical intuitive, quantum and sound healer, Reiki master teacher, and a master in reading the Akashic records, and she works directly with many ascended masters, angels, and star beings. She's the author of 5 books, brings a wealth of knowledge to the table, and has a heart of gold. So let's welcome Kari to the show. Hi, I'm Angela Wilkinson, and welcome to this episode of the Awakened Goddess Show, where we co-create powerful, conscious conversations on the leading edge. Today I have Reverend Kari joining me, and we're going to be talking about what is a walk-in, who they are, why they're here, and if you might be one. So welcome, Kari.
Well, thank you, Angela. It's wonderful to be here.
Yeah, so we have a mutual friend, and that's Shirley Bolstock, and she highly was like raving about your work, and I know she's worked with you, so I'm really excited to see how this conversation unfolds today, because everybody heard your bio as we introed the show, and you are incredible. You have an amazing bio, so wealth of knowledge.
Well,
And
thank
yeah.
you. Thank you. I've been at this for 25 years, and I absolutely love my job. It's who I am and what I do. I live it. And so
Yes.
thank you.
Yes. Yeah. And those of us that are called on this path, at some point in our lives, we come in contact with it. And it's like we hear the call from spirit. And it's a beautiful journey it's really interesting to be on the spiritual path and sharing this as our work, because, as you know, we are put in the hot seat lots of times throughout our life. So
Yes. Yes. And that's very true. In order to stand in our truth and in our empowerment, we need to be strong. And we're always put on the hot seat, but that's okay. I have nothing to fear or nothing to hide. So it's fine
yes.
by me. Bring it on.
Yeah. I know I'm a fiery soul myself, and so I love transformation and stepping in. So,
Yes.
okay, so tell me, what is a walk-in? How do you describe walk-in?
Well, to begin with, basically, if you want to get down to the basic truth, we're all walk-ins.
Mm.
Let us explain. Either a soul either enters the body during conception or just prior to birth. That is when the soul enters. With a walk-in, we enter the body with full agreement of the soul that is in the body, full agreement with God Creator, whatever name you want to put on the universal source of all that is. It's an agreement that is made prior to the birthing of the body.
Mm.
So let me give myself as an example. I made a soul contract, excuse me, in the Akashic records are the soul records. I made a contract with part of my same soul family, which was the soul that was born into this body. I made a contract with her that said at this time, at this place, you're going to be relieved to go home without no karmic repercussions whatsoever, and I will come in and resume taking over the body. That's all agreed upon. with my contract, I had to finish her soul contract first. That is part of the walk in. If the born in soul was not complete on that contract, which she wasn't, she had two girls to raise. So I made the agreement that I would continue to raise those girls until they were old enough to be on their own, and then I would come into the body completely. So I had to finish her soul contract before I could even get started on mine. There is an awful lot of walk-ins taking place right now. Literally, thousands are waiting to come into the planet right now. And I'm sure you've noticed all of the mass exiting that's taken place, a lot of suicides. It has become difficult on the planet right now for people to continue. It really has become difficult. In fact, since 2012. So there's new soul contracts being made now that will allow the existing soul in the body to leave with no karmic repercussions whatsoever and allow a same aspect of the soul to come in. Now, that is a point that we need to stress on, that stress about. There is an agreement. It's all part of the same soul. We have a soul family. Right above the top of my head or the top of your head, we have like a funnel-shaped monad. In that monad, there's 12 aspects of who I am. Each one of those 12 have 12. So we have a possibility of 144 soul aspects.
Okay, can you define what a soul aspect is? Can you like explain that a little bit more?
Okay, well let's use a piece of pie as an example. You've got a pie, and that pie is a whole, correct? So let's use that as an example of a soul. That soul is whole. Now we're going to cut that pie into 144 pieces. So you've got 144 aspects of one whole soul.
Okay.
So it's always agreed. I've never had any walk-in, and I've helped thousands come in or leave that was not a part of that same soul family. So when I came in and escorted her out, it's a part of our same oversoul monad. We're from the same soul. I've never seen any walk-in outside that soul. And I came in consciously, which conscious walk-ins just started about 4 to 5 years ago. I walked in 1982, and being a conscious walk-in just was not heard of. I remembered everything. I knew everything. I didn't have the veils put on me of forgetfulness. I stayed connected.
Wow. So
yeah.
I want to hear what this was like for you, because that sounds okay. So how was the transition chosen? You said this was in the soul contract before, right?
Yes.
So it was already agreed upon that you as this soul aspect would come in as a walk-in. And so then what happened to the other soul aspect? Like
the born-in soul literally went through a transition. Much would even coin it a death, because you're leaving a whole memory and you're going back home. So you would still have to go through that transitional stage, or what we call the sleep stage. Once a soul leaves the body, it will do, it usually has 3 to 5 days to clear up any business that wasn't cleared up before they made their transition. And then they will go through a sleep stage and a preview of their life that really does take place. And then healing. They also need to go through a healing. And then they would be given the opportunity to incarnate back in, or choose a walk in, or not.
Okay, so your physical body then, what was happening with your physical body?
Oh, I'm telling you, it's not easy, because you've got the cellular memory. You have the cellular memory of another soul. Although it's the
Mm.
same aspect, the same soul family, you still have this memory of the prior soul. So it's very important when the walk in takes place that you have some form of a cellular release to release all those things which the walk in no longer needs, but
Mm.
you will retain the things that are to your highest good. Let me give you an example. The born in soul was a singer, and I retained that gift, and now I do toning. So the things that are to my highest good were kept,
Mhm.
the things that are not to my highest good were released.
Wow, fascinating.
But it's still very difficult in the beginning to be able to differentiate what is mine and what was hers
Mhm. Mhm.
to release. Do you understand?
Yeah, so how is it you know that, so you said you came in knowing, right? And you were a conscious or are a conscious walk-in.
Mhm.
And so how did you know then you were walking in?
Well, that's a great question. I was in the hospital with double pneumonia, and they'd given me, or the prior soul, this body, last rites. My
Mm.
girlfriend was right there, and she witnessed this all, and she said she's seen this form move to my left side, and she thought for sure, oh my God, that this is it. Kari's, that's the angel of death, which we don't call angel of death, we call it angel of transition. But she thought for sure that's what was taking place. When she seen that, I sit up in the hospital bed, and I said, I don't know if you understand this or not, because at that time I did not know the term walk in. I
Mhm.
said, I don't know if you understand this or not, but I just took over this body with full agreement, with the born in soul plus with God creator. It was agreed upon. And within 2 days, they did a write up in the hospital in the news. I was healed.
Wow.
And literally, I was on my deathbed.
Wow. So was there a shift in personality?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. You do have, remember, the cellular memory, which does help you remember things, but absolutely there's a different personality.
Wow.
Each one of our soul aspects, 143 and I'm one, so that's 144, has its own gifts. They have their own personality. All of that, yes, absolutely. Even though it's still a whole pie,
Mhm.
you've got 144 pieces of that pie. Now, it's my understanding, Angela, that in order for us to go through the ascension, and this totally makes sense to me, and this is what Archangel Michael told me during meditation. In order for us to go through the ascension, we need to merge with all aspects of our soul. And
Sure.
that resonates. Why would just this aspect want to ascend?
Mhm.
You want to ascend and merge with all 144 total aspects. And this is what we call soul merging. So the difference between a soul merge and a walk in is with a soul merge, the energy will come in and you will merge with it and you will stay with that until you merge with all aspects of the soul. A walk in, the born in will go home. So
Mm.
that's the difference between a soul merge. The born in soul stays with that or merges with all. The walk in, the born in soul will eventually go home.
Interesting.
I want to really try to keep this simple because it really is.
Yeah. Yeah. I like just like digging into the nuances and like trying to get the experience, like what it's like. So
Well, let
um
me ask you this question.
yeah.
Have you ever been somewhere and all of a sudden you felt, oh my God, I've been here. I know this place or I know that person. How many
Mhm.
times has that happened?
Mhm.
That's the different aspects of your soul. allowing you to remember that experience.
Wow.
Yes.
So was it that the born-in soul was just complete with their work?
Well, there's many different traits. One, they could absolutely just be done with their contract. Okay. Two, it's become too difficult and they want to go home. They just,
Mm,
and if they have to commit suicide, then that's what they're going to do. Three, it's all agreed upon. In my situation, the born in soul had tried to commit suicide a number of times. And so that was my case. But now, with the energies changing as much as they are and as fast as they are on the planet right now, this exchange and I don't want to your listeners to think of this as a bad way, but it's just done so gracefully now. It's like, okay, you want to go home? Well, let's look in the Akashic records, the soul records, to see if it's being supported, energetically supported. Right now, all walk ins have a 2-year open contract, which I think
mm.
is beautiful. So they can come in and try this out for 2 years. And if it's too hard, then they've got at the end of 2 years, they can opt out and another aspect of the soul comes in. When we're in spirit, we don't see that it's difficult.
No.
When I made this agreement, I was in spirit form. So it's like, oh yeah, I'll go down there and do this. Sure, I'll continue on with this and hopefully help the planet and help people. But once I got in this body and realized these things called emotions,
Yeah.
whole different ball game. Whole different ball game.
Yeah.
So it's quite different when you're in spirit and agree to this and then come out down and be in this third dimensional human body with all these emotions. It's
Yeah.
very hard. The hardest thing I had, I'm I'm known for my heart energy. And the hardest thing for me, and still to this day, is how people can go out of their way to consciously hurt another.
Mm-hmm.
I don't understand that.
Yeah. Yeah, I
I don't
gotcha.
understand that, and I never will. That's what was more difficult for me.
Mm-hmm.
And plus, this is my first time in a human body. I've never been on this planet before in a human body. So that was the second hardest thing, is to be so limited by this physical human body.
Yeah, isn't it crazy how on planet
Yes.
Earth we are so limited and we have all these limiting beliefs and these feelings and it's like, wow, just like whole obstacle course to navigate through.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And that's
Yeah.
why it's so important. Part of, a lot of my main contract here is not only helping walk ins, but helping people awaken to their true self, put them in their empowerment. If you're in your empowerment, then you're less likely to buy into somebody else's BS
Yes.
or their reality.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah.
You
So
know, you're
true.
more able to be who you are with your truths and your reality, but not budge from that.
Mm-hmm.
A good example, I've had Namaste for 22 years. I've been here 22 years. And I told everyone, even the light workers, even we used to go to walk-in conferences in Minnesota. We had one here. Literally, groups of walk-ins would come together. And through Ruth Montgomery, bless her heart, saved my life with that book, Walk-ins Among Us.
Mm.
Uh, oh, it did. I thought I was crazy until I read that book. Um, oh God, now I lost track. There we go again. Went outside the body.
I hate when that
Well,
happens.
when I started the paperwork to get a 501c3 nonprofit out of my home, Everyone said I was crazy. Even my friends, even my family th- told me, you're crazy. You'll never
Mm-hmm.
get it. And it's like, no, but you don't understand. Master Jesus has told me this is what I'm supposed to do.
Mm-hmm.
I consider Master Jesus as a master teacher.
Yes.
I'm not religious. I'm extremely spiritual. So I know him as a master teacher. And
Mm-hmm.
he came to me and he said, this is what we're energetically supporting you to do. You're going to open up one of the new churches. And it's like, what do you mean, new churches? He said, a place where everyone's welcome.
Yes.
Regardless of race, religion, color, where everyone is welcome. I stood with that, even though everyone was telling me you can't do it. But you don't understand. Master Jesus is telling me to do it. So after telling everyone I was still going, I'm going to do this because this is what I'm being asked to do. So a few of them broke down and said, okay, well, it'll probably take you 2 to 3 years. I had an attorney draw up the paperwork because I'm not left brain, which
Mm-hmm.
is analytical. You know, I am more right brain, which is the spiritual channeling. So
Mm-hmm.
when I have anything to do with paperwork or legal matters, I will hire an attorney. So I hired an attorney because that's what Spirit told me to do. And he said, Kari, this won't be approved for 2 to 3 years. And I said, okay, well, I understand you have that viewpoint. He said, no, that's a reality. I've helped. So it's like, okay. So when I got all the paperwork done, signed, sealed, and delivered, well, not delivered yet, I had it in the envelope. And you have to give them $500. Whether it's approved or not, that $500 is gone.
Yeah.
And I prayed over it, Angela. I prayed over it. And I said, if this is meant to be, please let it be and expedite it. And I asked that the letter would go to the souls, the oversoul higher self, instead of the third dimensional body.
Mm-hmm.
This would be received through the oversoul. 13-day late, 13 days later, I got the approval.
Wow. That's
First,
incredible.
first one in the state of Wisconsin to get a 501c3 nonprofit out of the home. And since then, I've helped 15, 20 others do it.
Beautiful. I believe that anything is possible. And
Yes,
when we're on path and we're in alignment and we
yes,
follow that, regardless of what
yes,
anything or anybody says, that you can move mountains. And not
absolutely.
physically, you're just allowing the power of source to move through you.
Absolutely. If we can
Yeah.
just get out of the way and hold that intention, there's nothing we cannot do.
Yeah.
And that brings us to, are we being energetically supported? This is a major part of what we teach here at Namaste. Well, somebody says, well, gosh, I went to this workshop, I paid $300 and I left. And it's like, well, did you ask your soul if you were being energetically supported to go to that workshop? No. And it's like, okay, there is not anything I do, nothing that I do not confer with my soul. Why? We're all here to live our soul's purpose, correct? I mean,
Mm-hmm.
everyone agrees to that. We're here to live our soul's purpose. We're a part of the soul. So would it not serve our highest good to be communicating and running everything through our soul? So
Mm.
I will ask, am I being energetically supported to go see this person, to read this book, to go do this, to have this with Angela? I went into meditation and asked, am I being energetically supported to do this interview? Absolutely. So
Mm-hmm.
this way, now we're qualifying all of our time, energy, and abundance. You would be
Beautiful.
amazed at how much time you free up by only doing the things that your soul and spirit is supporting you to do.
Yes. Well, yeah, it's so true because I think we get caught up in the 3D reality of the things that we think we should do or have to do to reach these goals, and then we're taking up all this time and energy doing the things that are not in true alignment. So I love that you bring that up.
Absolutely. And just by conferring and communicating, just like you and I are right now with your soul, you can alleviate all of those things that you would maybe dabble in. And again, spend your energy, spend your abundance.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not going to waste my energy, time, and abundance on just anything.
That's right. Not
So
that
that's
sparkly object.
that's and it really does change lives.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely.
Powerful.
Yes. Yes.
Powerful. So
Mhm.
this is like the perfect time to take a quick break, and then we'll
Okay.
come back and I have another question. Are you an Awakened Goddess Show insider? Each and every month, our members receive lots of fantastic perks, including behind-the-scenes conversations from the show, outrageously fun virtual happy hours, Angela Unscripted, where I shoot candid videos of me living the everyday goddess life, bonus meditations, powerful activations, and healing energy work with the guests, exclusive gifts and private readings, on-demand access to the show, plus an invite to join our private community. Visit our website today at theawakenedgoddess.com for more information. Now back to the show. So I want to go back to this, talking about the walk-in piece, because
Okay.
I swear I feel like for the longest time that I don't belong here, like I'm an alien. And
Right.
I feel like inside of me there's like two different people.
Mhm.
So, and I've actually been told that I am a walk-in.
Mhm.
Um, and so I'm wondering if you can reflect on that and tell me like what the
Absolutely.
heck I'm
Um,
experiencing.
I need your date of birth, please, to go to your records.
Oh, sure. It's 3/24 or 26/74. Whoops.
Right. So I do not open myself up to the spirit world haphazardly. So I'm going to go through a prayer that's going to set the energies of intention. We're going to do a psychic reading on you, and I'm
Ooh.
going to ask your soul for permission to communicate with all aspects of your soul, all 143 other aspects. And also, I'm going to ask your soul to access your soul records, which is the Akashic records, past, present, and probable future. And then let's see what we get from there.
Sure.
What? Hold on. Um, okay. Um, Data's coming in. Okay. Okay. All right. Thank you. All right. So here we go.
Okay.
As we prepare to enter the realm of spirit, we seal my room and Angela's room on the north, south, east, west, above and below against any negative energies, entities, influences, or forces. And we invite the presence of our master guides, teachers, and angels to be present and receptive to us now. We invite the presence of Archangel Metatron, keeper of the Akashic records. Please, Archangel Metatron, let it be known and let it be written on this 30th day of June in the year of our Lord 2017. Please record this session in the Akashic records. I thank you. Archangel Michael, thank you. St. Francis of Assisi, thank you. Kuan Yin, thank you. Hathor, thank you. The beloved elementals, thank you. Master King Zoser, the master physician, thank you. Master Saint Germain and the violet flame of transmutation to be anchored in both our rooms now, please. Master Jesus, thank you. Master Kathumi, thank you. All to be present and receptive to us now. We deliberately and consciously open ourselves as channels through the cosmic Christ consciousness vibration only. We ask that only the highest and the purest forms of truth, healing, and activation be allowed to come through us, and only those things which are to Angela's highest good will be revealed, healed, released, brought through, and activated. I deliberately and consciously ask to have permission to communicate with all aspects and levels of Angela's oversoul higher self and access to the Akashic Records now, please. Thank you. And because it has been promised, where two or three are gathered together in the name of Christ or Christ consciousness, there is the energy present for healing, miracles, and activation. We now claim all three with all bodies, physical, mental, spiritual, emotional, and etheric, all time frames, past, present, and future, and in all dimensions and all levels of the soul simultaneously. And because it has been promised and spoken, and because it has been accepted, thank you. So it shall be done, and so it is. We give thanks. We give thanks. Amen. Amen. Kadosh, 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 Adonai Sabaoth, which is Hebrew and translates as holy, holy, holy is the Lord God of hosts. Archangel Raphael just stepped in, and Gabriel. Thank you. All right, thank you. So the first thing we ask, Angela, is to please filter everything we say through your own heart knowing.
All right. I will.
If it feels as a truth, great, take it, run with it. If it does not, simply release it and let it go, or store it for future reference. All right?
Mm-hmm.
The first thing, there was an incident that happened in September of 1999, just before 2000, September. Does this resonate? Is this ringing a bell? September, October 1999, definitely 1999, 1999. 2017, 1999.
I'm not sure. You know, it's funny. I have trouble with memory, with time
Okay.
and
All right.
identifying things.
Okay. So that would be approximately, if I did my math right, 18 years ago. Let me, 2017, 1999. That would be 8. That would be 10. Okay.
I think I might have been a freshman in high school, maybe.
So what we were getting, and absolutely, it was in September 27th, 1999. At that time, you were having a difficult time, and you literally requested help. You didn't know how, but you did, and you got that help. Now, the walk-in did not take place at that time. You were overlighted. You had a soul merge at that time. And in 2004, month please, June 2004, you did have a walk-in. But now let us explain. You are coexisting, honey. That's why it might be confusing. 1 minute you remember, 1 minute you don't. I coexisted with the born in soul for 14 years. It gives the walk-in time literally to learn how to drive, learn how to walk, learn how to talk, to learn about the genetic family. Okay?
Interesting.
Yes. Now you're coexisting. Let us give you an example. Okay, let's say you are in the car and you're driving. You are in the front seat. Now we're going to use that as an example analogy that the car is your body, okay?
Mm-hmm.
So you're in the car, you're driving, okay? And then you've got a higher aspect of your soul in the back seat, watching, observing, and learning. That coexistence is still taking place. If and when you desire to let the born in soul go home, then the driver will step out. The soul in the back seat comes forward and starts driving the car or the body. Now, you have
Interesting.
had you have had some amazing shifts in consciousness. So right
Yeah.
now, yes, yes, yes. So right now, we do not see the walk in out take place. The energy that has come in 2004, June 2004, is going to end up being a merge. We do not see the born in soul leaving now because you've
Mm-hmm.
made strides on that and you decided you want to stay. Does this resonate?
Well, I can think back about that time was when I started my spiritual journey. Was around, yeah, around kind of that period of time.
Okay. So when there is this coexisting going on, and it happens with all walk ins, if there is enough awakening that takes place with the born in, or they are able to work through the difficulties, then it's received as a soul merge.
Mm-hmm.
Because you have made, I mean, it's like they're showing me night and day the shifts
Yes.
since 2004. That is a
Mm-hmm.
key year for you. It really is. So right now, you're coexisting and you can continue to coexist and work with this higher vibration. It's part of who you are. The only difference between you and this higher vibration is it is a higher vibration.
Yes.
That's it.
Yep.
Um,
Definitely.
yeah. So you have, we don't see you walking out, honey. You've been able to work through things personally.
Mm-hmm.
We're talking personally, heart energy. You went through some trauma uh, between 99 and 2004. Um, and you've worked through it, Angela.
Mm-hmm.
This is a very personal level, very personal. It's personal, like, who am I? What am I doing here? You know, this is crazy, yada, yada, yada. Why do I feel different than everybody else? It's because you're a star seed. You're a star seed.
Mm-hmm. What does that mean?
Well, that means you're from the stars and you're coming here to seed a consciousness. You're a very advanced soul and you're a star seed. You came from another star system, and all of us are seeding a consciousness. And that could be a little bit difficult, especially for the teachers. And you are a teacher, you are a healer. But more than that, there is sacred geometry all around you,
Hmm.
beautiful colors and symbols.
Nice.
Have you found yourself doodling?
I'm a journaler,
Oh,
so yep.
uh,
In that, I do doodle.
okay.
Yep.
What we want you to do is, if this resonates, give yourself permission to think outside the box. When you're doing inspirational writing, what many people might call automatic writing, we call it inspirational writing. Your soul and spirit is going to be bringing through specific symbols, colors, and star language.
Oh, interesting. Yeah, one of my gifts, psychic gifts, is that I have a um, super awareness of space. Like air,
Wow.
like is almost tangible to me. And
Mhm.
when I'm a big reorganizer. I'll shift furniture around, move things around, and
Mhm.
I just have this psychic sense around whether something's gonna fit or it's pretty
That,
cool.
that's wonderful because we call that, reading energy.
Hmm.
As intuits, as readers, healers, all we do is read energy. And you have an astute ability to do that. That's very rare, Angela. So Spirit wants to get back on these paintings that you will be doing, or chalk or pencil. This is star language. You're going to be bringing what we might call an alphabet.
Mm-hmm.
They call star language because it's going to be different. It's not going to be the alphabet. So you're bringing in from all of these other star systems through the universal language of light.
Yeah.
And you're going to be bringing and you're a journalist. This makes total sense.
Mm-hmm.
So, but the difference between what we're talking about, what you're doing, it's going to be in star language. And there's going to be symbols, and there's going to be beautiful colors, or what many people call the rays. The rays you call colors, Spirit calls rays. So if any of this resonates, please just think about that. You also have an amazing ability to communicate with nature, earth, and the elementals. I can totally see where someone would think that you are an elemental because you carry that energy. Absolutely. You've got many gifts. Many you know, many you don't know quite yet. You also, wow, that's weird.
Yeah,
Well,
that would be me.
now this is where sometimes I have a difficulty, but I've got to, Archangel Michael is saying, Kari, get out of the way, deliver the message. There is a baby around you.
Well, good. I told yes, I am calling it a baby.
Oh, God, thank you, thank you. There's a baby around you, Angela.
Good. Yay.
Now, what we want you to do, this is going to be a very gifted child. It cannot come into this planet by, okay, we've got 10 minutes, I'm ready now, I'm ovulating, or whatever that's called.
Yeah.
You cannot go there with this child. I guarantee you, if you make love to make love and not to procreate, this child will come in. That's why this child is letting me see the child, because it had to communicate this, honey. Make love to make love. It can only come into this planet through the love vibration.
Yeah. Cool. Yeah, because that, I mean, as I can't even remember my own age, but that is like a part of the consciousness, is this whole idea that the older you get, the more challenging it is. And I
Throw
keep,
that out the window.
yep,
Throw that
I'm
out
like,
the
nope,
window.
nope, that's not for me.
Well,
Yeah.
here's a short story I'll tell you real quick. I just performed a wedding on a couple of weeks ago, and the first time they came to me 7-8 weeks ago, I told them at that time she had a child around her, and she broke down and cried and said, "We've been trying." I said, "Well, know that there is a child with you." That was 8 weeks. Okay. 4 weeks later, which would have made it 5 weeks total, she's pregnant.
All right. Awesome.
She's pregnant. So we actually knew before she even conceived. We knew. I don't know what it is with these gifted kids, but they let me see them because I understand how important it is for them to come in under the energy of love.
Yes.
Okay.
That's true. Yes.
Okay. So
Awesome.
I'll say it now. Congratulations.
Thank you.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
Yeah.
I love the programs. This is another thing that Spirit wanted to acknowledge, is this gift that you're doing with your programs here. They want to say thank you. It's helping so many more that you even realize, and they want to say thank you. They do want you to expand, though.
Yep.
Absolutely.
That's in the vision.
Good, because they want you to expand. Also, your soul wants you to maybe consider going 501c3. Let us explain, nonprofit. There are people out there, rich people, that need to give their money away for they don't pay taxes on it. If they give it to a nonprofit, they get to write that off and you receive the abundance. So
Mm.
please consider that. Um, okay, thank you. I I don't necessarily see it in Oregon.
That's fine.
Okay, all right, all
I'm
right.
not necessarily rooted here.
Well, good, because just be open to that. You know,
Mm-hmm.
okay, yes, this is a location I would love to be, this or this, but I now accept this request or something better through the grace of God, Creator, and to the highest good. That means you can get out of their way because you might want that brand new car, but they see you in another car. So they might manifest the other one, and you left it open to that manifestation.
Mm. Yeah.
You are a very, very powerful woman. Absolutely. You are a woman that knows who she is, working on what she's here to do. But remember, you are a master of many things. The only thing that we see that you can maybe do wrong would be to limit yourself, dear one. Don't limit yourself and accept and receive all of the soul merges that will be taking place because they come with gifts, remembrances. You also have a gift. Oh my God, the elementals and fairies are coming forward now, and they love it when you sing to them. Do you go outside and sing as you walk or
Yeah,
talk?
I'm out all. I love being in nature, and I collect bird feathers, and
My gosh.
I'm very conscious of even like bugs. Like I don't want to kill anything.
Well, because you have that connection with all that is.
Hmm.
Okay. And me too. I cannot believe you said the feather thing. I've probably got 400 feathers from all over the world. Spirit will gift me
Nice.
feathers when I'm where I'm supposed to be. And then, as Spirit says, I gift them to other people. I have a feather thing too. But you
Hmm.
really have a wonderful connection with the earth, with plants. We also see you working with oils and tinctures, you know, alchemy,
Yes.
alchemy, alchemy.
Hmm. Yeah, that's the thing. There's so many things to play with.
Yep.
I feel like as a human being, I have limited time, and it's like, how do I do all of these fun things while I'm, doing the
Yeah,
show and
and, and you do need to keep that in perspective, Angela,
Mhm.
because right now you enjoy so many things. Please make that communication. Well, am I being energetically supported to start this center right now? Oh, no? Okay. Well, then when? So really delegate your time and energy. And so far,
Mhm.
you're doing beautiful with that.
Thank you.
Okay. So, Spirit wanted to acknowledge the work that you're truly doing for many people. And we thank you. We thank you.
Thank you. Yeah.
Mm.
So I for the viewers, I want to you were talking about how staying open to something greater. So when we're wanting to manifest something in our life, and maybe we check in with our soul, and it's everything's in alignment.
Right.
Um, how do we like? What is the container that we set to call in that thing that we want to manifest? What is
Okay.
your viewpoint
Well,
on
well,
that?
what I do is I call in all aspects of my oversoul and master guides, teachers, and angels. Since 2012, we need to write everything down, preferably in pencil. It can no longer be left out in the ethers. If
Mm,
you want something manifested, let's take it from the ethers and write it down for the third dimension. And
yes.
then be very specific. Be very specific. Okay, Spirit, I need a new car. The reason I need a new car is, well, I want to continue to show up for you. I want to go where you're suggesting I go. I would like a 2017 minivan. I want it blue. I want low mileage. I want an air conditioning. I want 4 doors. I want it to be mechanically sound. Now, once I write that down, then I will put at the very bottom, I now accept this request or something better through the
Mm-hmm.
grace of God Creator and to the highest good of all concerned here and beyond. Then my job is to pay attention and stay receptive to the clues that Spirit will bring us. Well, somebody, let's say this person loves numbers, and all of a sudden they're seeing 444 or 1111 or 1212. Feathers, my thing is feathers too. When I know that feather appears, so pay attention and stay receptive to the people that are calling you, to the clues, because they will provide. But that's what's called co creation. We need to do our part. Pay attention, stay receptive to the synchronistic events that God, Creator, and the universe is going to bring us.
Mm-hmm. Yes, watching for those little signs that are telling
Yes,
us how to go. Um,
absolutely.
so I'm curious, this comes to mind is I know a lot of people seem to have, they're open to receiving, but they have trouble claiming something once it
Oh my
shows
God.
up.
Yeah. You are so right with it. I I even have a hard time with that. I will give you the shirt off my back. I have a small retail store here. You want something, it's yours. You want my feathers, it's yours. And I'm working on receiving. But
Mm-hmm.
it is so important that we do that because then we're not complete. Listen to this. If we're always giving and we're giving and we're giving, if we are not receiving, we are not balanced or whole.
Mm-hmm.
So I need to be able to give and receive, completing that circle of life, giving and receiving. This seems to be something that happens with all of the awakened light workers, readers, and healers. It's hard for us to receive.
Mm-hmm.
So I literally remind my DNA that, Kari, you can have abundance. You have let go of the poverty consciousness. You can have abundance. It's okay to receive. So
Yeah, it's crazy how much we have to
it
tell
has to
ourselves.
do with, do we deserve it?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. That's something we need to let go of. Yes, we deserve it. Yes, you're worth it. Am I worthy of this? Parts of your DNA might say, no, you're not worthy of this. Well, I'm going to let you go and replace that with, yes, I am worthy. I
Yes,
do deserve this.
yes. Claim it, claim it. I deserve
Absolutely.
it. Yes.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so are there, for a daily practice, are there things that can help us harness our energy in a more effective way?
Absolutely. And please know that everything we've talked about here today is going to be on my prayer page on my website, at which anyone can download anything free. I also have 5 published books that covers all this also. Absolutely, we would recommend every morning, and this is on my prayer page, to do a short grounding process to where it's going to connect you to the earth. It helps you to be in your body because many of us light workers don't want to be in the body. I mean,
Yeah.
but the only way manifestation can happen is if we're in the body. So it gets us in our body and aligned with our soul. Inspirational writing. That one exercise is what made me the clear channel I am today, and I still do it. Well, look at here with you.
Mm-hmm.
I write everything down. Inspirational writing works that intuitive muscle. Do it every day, and then it'll get stronger and stronger and stronger. Learn how to read energy, the energy around you. This is good energy, okay, then don't compromise for any other. If you get a bad energy, learn those clearing prayers that take 2.5 minutes with Archangel Michael. Those are just the few basics.
Mm-hmm.
Grounding, do not open up to the spirit world haphazardly. Only open up through the Christ consciousness vibration. Do your protection, because there is not good energies out there. I guarantee you that. Their greatest thing would be to convince us they do not exist. Yeah. So learn how to keep yourself protected and oversoul communication. In fact, we call it OPUS, OPUS, which is, in reality is a musical it's a you understand.
Yes, a composition. Is that what it is?
It's a musical composition, but we break it down. Oh, oversoul communication is a have to. You're here to live your soul's purpose. You're part of it. Communicate with your oversoul. P, stay in present time. That's the only way manifestation can happen, is in present time. U, learn and apply the universal and spiritual laws. There are universal and spiritual laws that govern this planet. To know those and work with them puts you in your empowerment. And you're going to love S.
Okay.
Show up.
Show up.
Continue to show up. Because without you showing up, none of this would have been possible.
Mm-hmm.
And we're putting you to meet other people of like mind and soul. So be willing to show up. Opus.
Is there a closing ceremony that we need to do as we close for today?
Yeah, because it is protocol that we give thanks and release those that have joined us. This is why Spirit uses me so much, Angela. I know my protocol. I will not budge from it. So would you like me to do that now?
Sure, yes, as we close up the show.
End off with you have any questions about what we brought in for you, please call me, okay? I would love to gift you, any clarity or whatever that you need, all right?
Thank you.
Right, you're welcome. Thank you, Angela. I mean, truly bless you on this journey, and it's such an honor to be a little small piece of it with you. Truly, I'm honored.
Thank you. I'm glad you could join me today. Yeah.
I give thanks to the higher power for the ability to channel healing, information, and activation from the world of spirit. We thank and release all angels, spirits, and beings of light who joined us here today. But those who would like to stay with Angela and myself, please do. All others, you're released back to your own planes, levels, and dimensions of spirit. Divine Mother, Holy Father, Creator of all that is, we ask your blessing on this child, your child, Angela, myself, and all the listeners. We thank you. We ask that you bless them and keep them under divine protection, and at all times guided and guarded by their own angelic beings. And we ask that you please continue to increase the volume of their insight, that they have absolute clarity in a way that their logical minds will know and understand. And we know it is so, and so it is. We give thanks. We give thanks. Amen. Amen. Kadosh, 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 Adonai Sabaoth, which is Hebrew and translates as holy, holy, holy is the Lord God of hosts. Now I need to disconnect from the Akashic Records, please. Namaste.
Namaste. Thank you for listening to this episode of the Awakened Goddess Show. I hope you enjoyed today's guest and got something you can start using in your life right away. For more spiritual insights and to listen to more episodes, subscribe to The Awakened Goddess Show at theawakenedgoddess.com and discover wisdom that'll change your life.